I need to know how Skynet gets built. Who's responsible?
The man most directly responsible is
Peter Thiel,
Alex Karp,
Sham Sankar.
Hello. 6 months ago, I released my first deep drill into Palantir and laid out what I believe was going to be a future behemoth of a company with a soft price target of $500 in the coming 5 years. And guess what? The pieces of the pie keep falling into position. Today, let's drill into some recent news, including a game changer on the line, which I believe are bringing the real possibility that Palantir will soon have a massive run-up to end this year. Stay tuned. Keep it simple. For those of you new to the channel, I am the Simple Trader and I bring to you WPG stocks. Yes, explosive exponential potential growth stocks that I'm looking to buy or already have sitting in my Freedom portfolio. I am not a financial advisor, so please note this is all for entertainment only. No more plugging, let's start drilling. Since my last video on Palantir in mid-May, when the stock was trading for around $20, I literally loaded up my boat.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
It ended Friday's trading session at $25, meaning a 25% run to the upside already. $25 is a key level when looking at the overall zoomed out price action. We've been here before. And $25 has acted as both resistance and support in the past. I believe Palantir will continue to edge up regardless of the overall market sentiment towards growth and tech stocks. Why? Russell 3000 inclusion. The mere inclusion of Palantir into the Russell 3000 should signal a boost of buying ahead. More buying means the stock price in theory should have to go up. The Russell 3000 index is simply a weighted stock market index that measures the performance of the 3,000 largest public companies in America by market cap. While you cannot directly buy the Russell 3000, since it is an index, there are some ETFs which actively track it, such as the Vanguard Russell 3000 ETF. So piecing it together for me literally means that shares of Palantir would be purchased automatically from these funds alone. Side note, do you see PaySafe also included? The institutions are loading up big on Palantir, and back in January the institutional ownership of Palantir was at 12%. Today it is over 17%, meaning a 5% increase over a few months. This is no small number. When you put into context, 5% of the actual float means over 90 million shares. Let's not talk about how bullish ARK Invest have been, since we've already discussed ARK in many previous videos. Let's take a look at Peter Thiel's Founders Fund. On the 17th of May, they filed a Form 13F showing they had executed a massive buying spree of 22 million shares of Palantir.
What would your mama say?
Go big or go home.
Now, is this big? Well, it is. But if you put into context, this represents 1.2% of the total shares outstanding. Plus, it made them the second biggest institutional owner, even above ARK Invest. Then you actually start to see how bullish Peter Thiel is on the company he co-founded 18 years ago. Further to this, Founders Fund 2 also had a huge ownership of 21 million shares. So together, Founders Fund have over 40 million shares. Of course, this is still peanuts compared to Peter Thiel's personal 268 million shares of Palantir that he owned. When you look at Founders Fund and what companies they are invested in, you start to see a correlation with ARK Invest. Peter Thiel is clearly winning big, and the future is clearly moving out of sync with the market right now. Just wait. I believe some of these companies within the Founders Fund portfolio will explode in the future, such as Stripe, Affirm, SpaceX, and of course Palantir. Palantir continues to reap government contracts, and on June the 8th they renewed their partnership with the CDC to continue their outbreak response and disease surveillance solution in relation to COVID-19 under the Decipher program. This adds further conviction as we clearly start to understand that regardless of entity, the renewal rate for Palantir software is just inevitable. June 18th, Palantir was awarded a 1-year contract with 2 option years at a maximum contract value of $18.4 million by the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, to provide a data analytics tool that will help advance the agency's modernization for aviation safety. The list of government contracts just keeps on expanding and is absolutely ridiculous. Name me a company that has achieved more contracts over vast segments of the US government than Palantir, which now includes the Aviation Administration. Think about this. Palantir have an unparalleled foothold in the US government, including the US Army, the US Special Operations Command, the US Air Force, the US Coast Guard, the National Nuclear Security Administration, the US Navy, the FDA, and more. The pieces are all falling into place, and for me, Skynet is forming before our very own eyes.
And reaffirming this notion of AI, artificial intelligence, as a dual-use technology and one that could be first applied where defense, national security, and military is.
And the pace we are innovating at continues to put distance between us and the next best alternative, from archetypes that allow you to replace a year of custom integration with a few clicks over a few hours to Apollo for Edge AI that allows you to deliver the most sophisticated operational AI that is frankly just a few steps shy of Skynet. Just a few steps shy of Skynet.
And pure software, which you could call advanced AI. AI is often thrown around as a jargon term, but in this context, military technology powered by somewhat or completely autonomous systems, or human-powered systems that also have autonomous capabilities. Those capabilities are not going to be even. It's not going to be one is here and one is here. It's one is in the, at the moon, and one is at a skyscraper range. And the country, and this is where I just flat out have a disagreement with most people, I would say in the Valley, but often others, and it's a legitimate disagreement, I guess. I believe if one country has a nuclear bomb and the other country has a set of dull knives, the country with the nuclear bomb is going to define how the world works.
The road to $500, or shall we say close to a $1 trillion company valuation, is what I believe the trajectory for Palantir will be, and the pieces of this jigsaw are coming together right now. I hope you can start to see these and start to understand what Palantir is all about. Revenues and numbers right now, in fact, are quite meaningless in my opinion. We are at what I believe is phase 2, which is when Palantir effectively starts going viral, no pun intended. Although I am a strong bullish investor in Palantir, I also have my fears that if this company does succeed and does take over as I am predicting, that the world will be changed forever, and I'm not sure if this will be a good thing or a bad thing.
Skynet. A computer program designed to automate missile defense. It was supposed to protect us, but that's not what happened. On August 29th, 1997, Skynet woke up and decided all humanity was a threat to its existence.
To summarize, I believe Palantir stock is in line for a run-up back to and over $30 in the short term. There's just no other way around it, and trading at or below $20 was insanely undervalued. I hope, like me, if you could have afforded it, and you, like me, are long on Palantir, that you, like me, have loaded up your boat. Thank you for watching, and please note I am extremely bullish on Palantir long term, so please take this drill with precaution and always do your own due diligence. If you are interested in other EEPG stocks that I have in my Freedom portfolio, please check out my other videos and just consider subscribing to my channel so you get the information first. I am the Simple Trader. I try to keep this simple, and I leave you with a snippet of COO Sankar's TEDx talk over 8 years ago. See if you get what I get from this.
I'd like to tell you about 2 games of chess. The first happened in 1997, in which Garry Kasparov, a human, lost to Deep Blue, a machine. To many, this was the dawn of a new era, one where man would be dominated by machine. And anyways, isn't it supposed to be man versus machine? I'm talking about J.C.R. Licklider's human-computer symbiosis, perhaps better termed intelligence augmentation, IA. His vision was to enable man and machine to cooperate in making decisions and controlling complex situations without the inflexible dependence on predetermined programs. The human goal here was to identify camps for relocation based on priority need. The computer had to integrate a vast amount of geospatial information, social media data, and relief organization information to answer this question. By implementing a superior process, what was otherwise a task for 40 people over 3 months became a simple job for 3 people in 40 hours. All victories for human-computer symbiosis. We're more than 50 years into Licklider's vision for the future, and the data suggests that we should be quite excited about tackling this century's hardest problems, man and machine, in cooperation together. Thank you.